This is another good one. The first video I ever shot was in '97, and my first band was The Pretenders. Chrissy Hyde doesn't like signing. So when they told me that and I saw her, I said, listen, you're the first show I ever shot in my life on a camera. I said, what'd you do? She said, no problem. Signed it. The lead singer was out at the forklift making sure I took his equipment off. All right, I'm like, okay, what's the deal? You're standing right next to me, getting me nervous. Which I didn't say that, I was kidding around with him. Turned out to have a long talk. He came out and gave me the signed poster. Hi, my name is John Layer. I'm very excited that you're here to see my collection. I've collected this stuff through the years and enjoyed it with the people I was with. I mean, everybody from the performers to their techs to stage managers. I just enjoyed it. It was a party all the time. Alphabetical order, okay? So we're going to start with AC/DC.
All right, so...
Just watch your back here. All right, so here's AC/DC. I got a pick. Signed by the dead brother. He passed away. And the drummer who was in jail. They signed it. Excuse me. This one's got a story. This is Aerosmith. When they put out this album, they made the album cover with a cat's head on and the Indian people didn't like the cat head. They brought the band to court and they won. So they had to take all of these off the shelves and replace them with a woman's head and not a cat head. So when I went up to the rhythm guitarist for a signature, Brad said, you have a lot of money here. I said, why? What do you mean? And he told me that story about taking him to court. So he said, you'll see when you eventually sell this, that this will be worth a lot of money. And they all signed that now. I have a pic there with Boston, and the lead singer, Brad Delp, killed himself months after the signature. Beck never signs anything. He signed this for me, because I did his video. David Bowie's signature. This is his original guitar player. And there is David Bowie's last show pass. Okay? All right, so I have the pick in it. It says Rick's Pick. And you open up inside, and on the CD itself, it says Rick's Pick. Okay? And that's why they did it, for that. Zakk Wylde picked his guitar up and spit in the air. And he caught it. And he continued to play. He did it 3 times.
Yeah.
I go to the guy next to me. Did you see that? And he goes, yeah. I go, you're Mick Jones. He goes, yeah. And it was Mick Jones, and he signed that for me. This is a good one. Creedence Clearwater. Creed, Styx, Tommy and everybody from Styx. Again, Rod Stewart. John Kay from Steppenwolf. Bob Seger, tremendous guy. This is a great one. Eddie Vedder, I caught him by himself. I happened to have a pen in this on me. I'm like, hey, Eddie, what you doing? He signed it right on the top there. Of course, one of the best musicians around passed away, Tom Petty.
From Florida.
And he wrote something in there for me. And then I have Poison, Ricky Rocket, the bass player. I just didn't get Brett Michaels. I got C.C. DeVille, and it's on the inside. Then Robert Plant. I mean, incredible. Try to get everybody in here for a journey. Very hard to get Ian Anderson to sign. Martin signed it. Martin Barish signed it. Ian said, yeah, I'll do it for you. And then he signed there again. And I got 2 Joan Jetts here that she signed. And then the lead singer from 9 Inch Nails. King's X. Give me $1. Give me 50 cents. Tell me run it back. Show you where I went. Boom, 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 boom. Great band. And then this is an incredible story. So I sit down to have dinner, and John N. Whistle and Pete and Roger came and sat at the same table. How you guys doing? By the way, John, I got this. Did you sign it? And John signed it. right next, because he drew this on the cruise numbers. And there's his signature for the drawing of it, and there's his signature the night I asked him. That comes with a picture of Pete on guitar. Now, maybe my favorite band of all time is Grand Funk Railroad. And they all signed it. Don Bruce says, I already signed it. Well, you're having me sign it again? I said, you're my favorite drummer. He said, okay. So this is Aerosmith, okay? This is all their passes and picks, and the harmonica for the tune Pink. I was up on a truss spot, and on stage right, and Steven Tyler came out after his tech just gave him the mic, and he was a sweaty mess. He came out, and it slipped out of his hands, and it went down a grid, and it fell in there. I could see it from where I was on the spotlight. So I climbed down at the end of the show, because they were there for 2 and 3 nights, and there was the harmonica.
So that could have Steven Tyler's DNA in it,
right? Okay, so this is the guitar that I got from an industrial show. They were going to throw it out. I said, can I have one? They gave me one. A couple of days later, Leonard Skinner was in our venue. So I went up to the stage manager. I said, would you like Gary Rosington sign it? He said, sure. That shouldn't be a problem. They all signed it. And then they gave me all their picks. Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Whalen signed it. And his other guitarist signed it there. From Velvet Revolver and Stone Temple Pilots was Jimmy Buffett. I've done the video for Jimmy Buffett for 30 years. He's new it too. Johnny, thanks for 30 years. Spins up. 2 picks from him. On to this one. This is Carlos Santana. Carlos, great guy. A lot of great stories with him. Fabulous person. He signed it for me here. And his one band member who this portrait is up here signed it up here for me. Great guy. Love him. So this is just a bunch of great backstage passes that I got. Jerry Garcia, Grateful Dead, The Kinks, David Bowie, Paul, Dan Fogelberg, Fleetwood Mac, the Rod Stewart and Faces. If you look, it says September 26, 1975. It was in a locker, schoolroom locker that we were using for video at our venue. And it was delivered to us in the late 90s, so like 98, 99, and we had been using it for 5 years or so. As we were moving the locker, I had to get a better grip, and I looked inside the locker, and I found this poster folded in half. Here's the fold mark right there. I unfolded it. It was this. Ron was there a few days later. He signed it. This was the set list from this day, and there's the backstage pass and 2 picks. Rod Stewart came out, belting out of tune. I was on a truss spot that night. Rod was soaking wet with sweat, tore off all his clothes, and threw the vest underneath one of the drum risers. So at the end of the show, I came down, and my boss said, you're taking apart the drums tonight. So I said, okay. I went down, and as I was taking apart the part of the drum riser, this was underneath it. I put it on, I wore it all night long. Until this one. And here it is, made by Gianni Versace. Here's the picture. Well, you're going to take the picture with you. Yeah. It's a jacket from Elton John. Okay. I was actually, we were at the Nassau Coliseum where the New York Islanders played. Now, I'm on headset to bring my guys in from the truss spot operators by motor, and Elton John ran back out onto the stage for one more tune and threw me his coat. It's mine now. There it is. harmonica with the cartoon faces. I got all four of them. I have Jackson Brown, Dave Matthews with Dave and his guitars, Styx, The Who, Foreigner, Ryan Adams with his lead guitars, and Billy Idol and his lead guitars. Kiss, Tom Petty, Allman Brothers, STP, Leonard Skinner, Ozzy Osbourne, Peck with Ozzy's lead guitars. I got two of these. It's got the 25-year pick from Poison, CC DeVille, the 25-year exclusive pick, and then Bobby Gall. Their set list, Michael Anthony, the bass player, Eddie's pick, and Eddie's other pick with the signature. All of ZZ Top, all three picks from them, of course the Black Crowes, and then Judas Priest. We have nobody to do New Year's. We trust you, Johnny. Would you do it? I said, what is it? They said, it's the Black Crowes at the Madison Square Garden. They said, yeah, we'll give you the works. They gave me a hotel room, all our meals, and everything for 2 days. So, of course, it was after 9/11. We're going to a Midtown tunnel, and they pulled me over in the truck because the roads are blocking that. It smells like gunpowder. Well, we should have pyrotechnics, you know. So the cops said, you're good to go. And if you're going to go to that show, you give me a couple of pics, I'd appreciate it. Never thought I'd see him again. I had a couple of pics, so after the show, I go through Midtown Tunnel, and the cops are there. So I got you 2 pics. I go, oh, great, you can get out of here. He was a long line of people that were pulling over. Great night. Turned out to be a fabulous night. I was on a Thanksgiving Eve night at Roseland in Manhattan. He was surrounded by a ton of women. I go running up there, can you sign this? He goes, you gotta be kidding me. I said to the guy, that's really cool, can I have one? He said, no, we don't give them away. Really? Okay. I'm nice from the rest of the night, and I said, you know, just, yeah, you know. Alright, this is Jimmy Buffett's t-shirt, one of his favorite shirts that he would wear. What had happened at the end of the show one night at the beach, this color shirt was given to me to run the forklift. And it was the same color, so I put that crew shirt down on a table so I could help my brothers lift a mixing board into the case. And when I went to get it, it wasn't there, and I asked the stage manager, you see my shirt? He said, oh, here it is. And he threw there his shirt. He asked me for it back later. I said, I don't know what I did with it. There it is. This has all of Jimmy Buffett pics. There's like, 50 of them there. The set list, backstage pass, and a CD. La-di-da. This is the tambourine from Kenny Rogers. And this came off of Willie Nelson's head, or his neck. I went on my camera. Original Moody Blues harmonica, tambourine player, and singer. These were all his tambourines. I got 3 of them, and it's from 1998. First of all, there's a story behind the t-shirt here. I wore it a few times, but there are so many people I had it on who offer me hundreds of dollars for it. It's just the negatives of those two. You'll never see it again. It was back in '78. What had happened was that when I started doing this job at the time, the bands knew I was a drummer for a band. So the drum techs would never give anybody any skins. They were very stringent about they didn't like anybody. The Grateful Dead, they were getting paid mega bucks. It was just the attitude they copped. But they would give me the stack. If you turn over there, Dave, you'll see the stack of skins. Those are all from Mickey's drum kit that he used to play in the late 70s, early 80s. And I kept those. So in 2019, the Dead and Mickey was still playing the drums. Mickey, which is the Hart, was still playing the drums for the Dead. I said, let me bring two in and see if Mickey would sign them. And say, yeah, I know, I've played these. And that's what he wrote. I played this. I played these. Their crew really dug me. I got to say that. I'm not a deadhead. At the 2019 show, they gave me this shirt to wear. Still in the package. Very nice, huh?
Yeah.
Tris Bowden from Chicago.
Nice.
This is all of Billy Joel's band. Liberty DeVito, the drummer from Billy Joel. Joey Kramer from Aerosmith. And this is Zach from the B-52s. Not the original drummer, but anyway. This is all of Boston. This is Curly Small, who passed away. He was the drummer for Boston after the other guy passed away. He passed away. And this is Gordy Knudsen from the Steve Miller Band. What this was, they used these songs outside the wardrobe rooms so that everybody knew where to go. Doom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom. You like Beck? You're not going to see these posters again. They're not going to make these up again.
Yeah.
Another one, Bob Dylan and Mark Knopfler. Primus, Talking, Great White. And you have Johnny Lang again, Huey Lewis. Crosby, Stills Nash, 4 picks. Ever hear of this guy?
Oh yeah, Wiz Khalifa.
Okay. You got Journey and Alex Schmidt. Never gonna. I'll keep this. Never gonna. It's a great story. I grew up with a guitarist. He played for Alice Cooper. He was Dee Schneider's guitarist in Widowmaker, and Asia he played for, and Megadeth. He played for Megadeth for a few years. Al Pitrelli. He got out of the rock and he started this Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Wow.
And now he's a millionaire. I said, Al, why don't you take me with you? Okay, he's right. I should tell you, it was the mid-90s at the Nassau Coliseum, and he didn't come. It wasn't part of his wardrobe. He took it off a chick's head and wore it for a couple of tunes, and was left behind. That's Elton John's signature right there. Believe it or not. Jimmy Buffett's drummer. All of them. They're different drummers, but they're Jimmy Buffett. Some of them say, like this one says, Jimmy Buffett toured. Early 90s, this is signed by Neil Young. And we were doing a loadout, and I took it off of Neil's amp, and I was placing his amplifier into the case, and my boss, he says to me, give me that guitar strap, you steal everything. Takes it, oh, take it, Jack, it's yours now. 10 years later, he comes out of his room. He comes out of the office one day, he goes, hey, Johnny, I know you're in a band, can you use this guitar strap? I ripped it out of his hand. I said, you take everything. And Neil Young was in at that time, that summer. And I told his stage manager that story. I said, if Neil wants the strap back, he can have it. And the guy said, don't worry about it, I'll get it signed for you. And he did. Awesome. Neil Young signed it. The show's just about over. Rod's getting ready to kick out some balls. It's the end of the Rod Stewart tour that year, too. And the crew's ready to get out. They're all waiting to take planes home to England. So the stage manager comes over and he goes, hey, mate, come with me. I want to show you something. So I said, yeah, where do you want? He says, we're going underneath the stage. I'm like, so we get down, we're going. Oh, of course, the stage is like about that low, so I'm crouching around and I'm following him. He says, hey, mate, he says, you can have everything in the hamper. You know what the hampers are? Did you ever seen the like large laundry hampers?
Yeah.
Industrial. He says, you could have everything in the hamper. I want the empty hamper back. I said, no problem. So I take it out. I get to an area. I can look inside and see what it is. It's about 60 soccer balls thrown by Rod. I don't have a car with me that night. What am I going to put him in? I wound up getting them all out. I kept two for myself. This is the Young Rascals. With the Young Rascals. I opened up the door and it's this guy right here, Gene Cornish. And I thought he wanted on the last of 6, so I thought he was there for one of my sisters. You mentioned when I was ready to go off on him on a tangent. My mother came up and pushed me away from the door and invited him into the house. I said, oh, my mom must know the guy. Yeah, let it go with that. That night, we sat down at the table. It was just me, my parents, myself. My mom says, that guy was at the door tonight. He gave me 2 tickets for tomorrow night's show that he's playing in Manhattan. That was scratched. Do you want to go? Sure. Get the tickets. I bring a friend of mine in. Long story short, we sit down, we start watching the show. It was an intermission, and I see that there's a woman sitting next to me with groceries and a shopping bag about my mother's age sitting next to me. I wasn't going to get up on any of those. So many people, the intermission's only 15 minutes or whatever. So I said, do you like this music? And I started a conversation with her, and she said, my son is playing the guitar. I didn't say anything. I just said, I met him already, you know, because the music was ready to come on and shit. I said to her, I will never get his autograph, but can I have yours? So she ripped from her pocketbook, she ripped out a little piece of paper, loose leaf paper, and wrote, you know, nice to meet you, and blah, blah, blah. I kept it for 38 years, a little piece of paper. The Young Rascals come into the George Bush year 2015, 2016. First time, I've never done one of those shows ever. I tell their stage manager the story about the paper. The stage manager comes out to me on the forklift while I'm running the forklift. He says, he wants to see you right now. I just can't jump off the forklift and do that. I'm going to get in trouble. I don't want to do that. I like my job. He says, I don't care. I'll cover for you. He says, you got to do it. They want to see you now. I'm like, oh. I go back there. He's having lunch right in front of my stage production manager's office of Live Nation. Right there. There's just no way that I'm going to get away with this. But I crawled on my knees. I'm getting down. Okay, I'm going to show you, Dave. I get down on my knees. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you the story and I got to get back out there. He said, go ahead. So I told him the story. I said, you came to my house one day. And I said, I didn't know it was you, but your mother gave me this. I asked her for her autograph. And he opened it up and immediately put it to his heart and started crying. No, he's like, 80-something years old. I'm like, listen, you can't cry, man. And I said, you're going to get me in more trouble. My boss's door is right there. He's looking right at me. I can see him looking at me. He says, thank you so much. You don't know what my mother's meant to me to be in the position I am in music today. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. I'm the only one in this group to put their mother in this book. That's how important she is to me. He says, thank you very much. He says, you asked me if I wanted it back. I said, I said, no, you keep it. No, it's yours. Just a little autograph with your mother's signature. So he ran out to the concourse where they were selling these to get one. Of course, he didn't have to pay for it. It's his. And he had them all signed it. Dino, Felix Cavalieri, Dino. And this is thank you for the gift, Johnny. Awesome. Incredible, huh? My career just took off and went from pushing cases to doing rigging to going into video for 25 years plus. All my bosses, I'll tell you, let me thank my bosses. Jack, number one. I would also like to thank Butch, number two. Dan, number three. And then let's go into Live Nation. Bruce, Chip, Herb, and a few others I'm leaving out. If it wasn't for all you guys, none of this would have happened. I'm so happy and elated that I was able to do it, and I hope I can just share my collection with great people and make it spread it too.